future, talk radio will actually educate, inspire, and make you think. The future is now. Topics and music that affect your life from Universal Broadcasting Network. Tune in at ubnradio.com.
Well, her name is Heidi Selexa. The world revolves around her smile.
I bought a super pretty pink bikini this weekend to match my super pretty pink lipstick.
Oh, but being in a new relationship is so fun. Like talking to him on the phone and you talk for hours and then finally like somebody has to get off the phone. So you're like, bye. No, you hang up. You hang up first. Hello? So then you have to call him back a 5th time and then the 6th time. And so then the 7th time, you just can't stop hitting redial. And then you break up.
Let's see if I can pick up a gay guy.
Hey, you're listening to Out of the Friend Zone with Heidi Selexa. Yeah.
Oh, do we have the fake claps again? Mine are prettier than the fake claps. Hi, I'm Heidi Selexa, and you are watching and listening Out of the Friend Zone. This is a show to help men understand what women want. Sometimes they need help, and sometimes they don't. Most of the time, they need help. It's a known fact that over 70% of both men and women notice people's smiles. So smile. Because when you smile, you become very engaged in the person, and they think that you like them, even if you're just smiling, thinking that they're a mirror, or you just feel pretty, or you're just happy. If you smile when you walk down the street or wherever you go, people are going to love you. It's an energetic thing. Even if you love yourself more than you love them, they don't know that. unless, of course, you're looking in the mirror. It's also another known fact that people would really like to marry and be in a relationship with their best friend that they want to, Do I need to say anything else? So sometimes when you have a friend and you were like, I don't really know if I like them, or they're not in the right place, or, they need a few things that, they have to change, like taking a shower, most of the time before they see you, or if there's some bad behaviors, or, whatever it is, we are all in this world to have fun and love, and that's what we forget. So I've decided again to bring on our resident love doctor. His name is Vish Iyer. Woo! Vish, I love you. He's fantastic. He wrote this book, Yoga in Love. You can get it on Amazon. And my best girlfriend, Angie, bought it after you were on the last show. And she read it in 2 hours.
2 hours?
2 hours. And then she's rereading it over again. I think
it took me 3.5 years to write it.
But that's all it took was 3.5 years, and then we read it in 2 hours, and that's it. Our love life changes. We're all happy, and we all meditate and do yoga.
Yes, if you're a bad writer, that's how long it takes.
Are you a bad writer?
I don't know. It's for others to decide.
But that's right. When you were in school, I have to ask you this. Did you do well? Because Vish is from India, and he actually comes from the lineage of the first author, how do I say this? Yes. 7,000 years ago, the first yoga book was written.
Yes.
And that was
it was an oral tradition. They didn't have writing at the time. It was, oral.
So people actually had to listen to people and remember.
And remember, yes.
Yeah, well, that's gone away nowadays.
Yes.
It's like, I'm sorry, what'd you say? You're like repeating a book to me? I don't even know what the last sentence you said was. So now, when you wrote it, did you remember everything you wrote?
Yeah.
This is passed down from 7,000 years ago, right?
Well, so the wisdom is, but I had to apply the wisdom in real life to make sure it works, right?
And he found his soulmate.
Right.
And she's hot. I have a treat for you, too. And her.
It's just like you read, hey, eating vegetables is good for you, but you still need to eat it to know for yourself.
Well, that's true.
The same way I read yoga is really good for me, but I had to work on myself to really make sure it works.
And you locked yourself away for 3.5 years, and you did yoga 2 hours a day.
Yes, meditation, yes.
Meditation, and did you ever, when you're meditating, do you ever just all of a sudden start stretching?
When I say, like I said, when we say yoga, we don't, we include stretching in it. It's part of it, part of the routine. But when we say yoga, it means more meditation and breathing exercises than just the stretching.
Because people just don't breathe.
Yeah. We stretching is not given as much importance by true yogis as much as they give it in the West.
Oh,
Yeah.
so we try to, manipulate it and use it more for,
Yeah, to
our
look hot.
benefit
Look
to
hot,
look
yeah.
hot. That's just, we're so vain. We're so vain. I feel like at the end of some people's lives, they're going to go, whoa, like I missed out on
Yeah.
so much of the important things in life.
Yes.
And I was so vain, and there's not a mirror in heaven. So
Yes.
you have to,
Yeah, and for me to even write, it's because of my wife. It's my wife is the greatest thing which happened to me. It's I mean, I'm
Isn't
the
that
last.
sweet?
I'm the last person to write a love book in the world. I want to be an action movie star. That's.
And I think you can. He just came from the gym. Let me see your pecs. Show your biceps here.
And that's,
Take your shirt off. Woo! I'm sorry.
I do
that was
actually in my
vain.
movie which is coming out. I do have I'm bare body.
Ooh.
The entire
Wait.
movie.
What
Yeah.
movie? What movie? You didn't tell me. You
Yeah.
did tell me, but what?
Yes,
Tell
I
me
did.
about the movie. I'm so excited.
Yeah, it's a movie. It's an action movie, sort of like Lord of the Rings type, and I play a romantic warrior in it.
Ooh.
Yeah, ooh, yeah.
Do you get to kiss a girl, a woman? Did your wife get upset?
She asked me if there was a kid. For some reason, the director felt he wanted to keep romance at a very beautiful, sort of otherworldly level, and apparently they don't kiss.
Well, I don't know that they do in 50
yeah.
Shades of Grey either, but it's definitely
Yeah.
not like.
In this movie, we have a lot of romantic scenes because I play the romantic lead in it, and
So there's no kissing, but
there's
are
no
you
kissing.
naked? Are you naked?
No,
Oh.
no. I'm
Darn
just
it.
half naked throughout the body as a warrior.
Woo! Okay, what's it called and when is it coming out?
It's called Nishima. It's a Hebrew word for breath. It's coming out. The premiere is 29th of August.
Oh, can I come?
Yes, absolutely.
Yay!
Met
Okay.
Tony today as well. and, yeah.
Apparently, him and Tony, the engineer here who runs the network, he's not really the engineer, but my engineer's, not here. They had lunch without me today, and they talked. What did you guys talk about? Did you guys? Come on, don't be a bunch of girls. You guys tell me. That's not fair. See, this is what we don't want. We don't want this. If we want, seriously, when I dated a guy that did that, I broke up with him when he did that too many times. I'm
Really?
like, I heard you were talking about me to your friends, and he would never tell me. I'm like, what are you saying? Because you get all paranoid. You know what I mean? Like, what are you guys saying? What are you guys possibly saying? And is it private stuff? Because you know what? I caught my ex-fiance telling his friends private things about me he shouldn't tell me. I mean,
Oh
just
my
tell
God.
them.
Oh
And
my
I
God.
heard it, and I was like, you know what? I can't trust you.
Like,
And it was just, what I look like naked and, stuff like that. But that's some personal stuff. Like,
yeah.
well, you guys don't know what I look like naked. I only have bikini photos up. We don't take it off past the bikini. Oh, speaking of that, I've got a little treat for you guys, and
Okay.
we've got free things to give away. It's a gift bag, and in the gift bag, okay, you ready? So one of my sponsors is Renee Lynn with Age Interventionist, and she's giving away free facials here, the gift certificate. So I will mail it to you. If you go to my Facebook and my Twitter right now, and you guys each get one too. So I don't know if you need
Wow.
it. Your wife would love her.
Okay.
She's an age interventionist,
Oh,
and
wow.
she does all like skin repair. She can make your pores smaller.
Oh, wow.
No plastic
wow.
surgery. There's no knife involved. Look how pretty my skin is.
Absolutely.
Right? I
Yep.
put my makeup in the dark today because my electricity went out.
Wow.
And I didn't really need that much because of what she does to my skin.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
not bragging. I'm just saying she's that good because I
Right.
really had issues before her. She does oxygen facials, stem cell skin resurfacing, and she tightens up your muscles, and you don't need Botox. Do I look like I have Botox? I don't
Nope.
need Botox, not with Renee Lynn. So we're giving that away. So please Facebook me at Heidi Selexa Official. That's HEIDI, S like Sam, ELEX like Xerox A. Official, or you can tweet me at Heidi Selexa. And we also have no commandos. They are pantyless panties. I went to the pantyless panty party the other night, and we weren't supposed to go with panties on.
Uh-huh.
Most of the women didn't. I always have to wear panties, but apparently guys like it when you wear like a big overhang shirt with no panties on. But if for some reason, I just saw that online somewhere. I don't know. I thought I would repeat that because so girls, when you're shopping, if you're not with a boyfriend, just go to the men's department and buy some really button down blue collar like shirt or, some big white and you just walk around the neighborhood like that and boom. You don't even need to go to Home Depot or the dating sites. You get the right guy, okay? And they're pantyless panties, and you can wear them when you work out, and you just put them on the inside. Not that you guys need them. I don't know
Yeah.
if men can wear these, but
I know.
I'm giving them to you. Now go in the bathroom and try them on, okay? This is what they look like. But they're really cool. Like you don't need panties. And, it's really good for actors and people who are at red carpet events and the dresses are so tight. They don't show any panty lines, but you still have the protection. And you can wear them at the gym too. And nobody will think that you might not look like you're wearing panties, but that's okay at the gym apparently. But definitely if you're going to a nice event and you don't want the panty line showing because it just makes you not look put together. And, we all dress for men. Wrong. That's not why we dress like we do. We do it for ourselves. And we have Sex Butter. Sex Butter is a natural homeopathic butter. It's really good for your muscles when you're sore, too. It has peppermint in there. And you just put them on your muscles and you rub them in. I'm sure other people use it for what it's actually meant for. But so there's a little sample. I'm going to send them to you. I want the first 2 people who Facebook or tweet me to send them in. So you guys get a gift bag.
All right.
And there's a Barney's of New York thing in here, which is the one on Rodeo Drive. And all kinds of fun stuff. So little goodies for you from Heidi Selexa. So Vish, back to you.
All right.
Well, the sex butter is what I was really trying to say. For you and your wife. I don't know. We won't go there. That was inappropriate. Smack me. I can be inappropriate sometimes when I'm chatty Cathy when there's 2 guys staring at me. You guys are just staring at me like talk. So Vish, we had you on the show a few weeks ago and you are the resident love doctor.
Right.
So we're going to go over the food, the sexual magnetism food.
Okay.
But first, I got a Facebook earlier, and a woman actually has a question for you.
Okay.
Okay, because she has a concern, and I'm not sure if she's straight or gay. It's hard to tell, but she might be gay, which is totally fine because
food really has nothing to do with it, right?
Well, I don't think so. It has love. What do you mean, food and sex?
No, what I meant was the orientation.
I
thought we were talking about food, and then when he said,
it depends.
It doesn't matter. Everybody has to eat.
It depends if you eat cucumbers. Because apparently that's one of the sexual magnetism foods. So here's her question, okay? So, by the way, you can call in 323-284-7826. Here's the question. I am 60 years old and never married. I have a great guy friend. So I have a great guy friend that I enjoy spending time with. He is divorced. We have never held hands or done anything. Well, you should know at 60 how to, get in there, but that's okay. I'll teach you. We have never held hands or done anything to suggest a romantic interest. Lately, I've been wondering if there is a chance for more, but I don't want to ruin the friendship I value so much. Any advice? Margaret in Michigan. So she just actually Facebooked this in, and I've talked to her before on Facebook, and she's like, I've dated, but not seriously. I've just been into my career, and she's kind of shy. And
has she never been physical with a man?
No, she's been physical with a man.
She's been physical with him.
She's just not in a few years. And she's never been married.
Right.
But she has had relationships.
Right.
She doesn't have any idea how to let the guy know that she's interested in more, basically what's happening. So they've never even held hands. He's never touched, like when you're with a guy friend and sometimes he touches your leg.
Right.
That's usually a sign he likes you. If you don't, if you just want to keep it as a friend, you don't actually physically make contact unless it's a hug when you see him.
Right.
So she has no idea how to let him know. And this is important. This is really important because sometimes if you say something to your friend, it may make it uncomfortable or ruin the situation. Mm-hmm. So what do you think she should say to him?
I would say the first thing is always to know yourself much better, a little better. Most people, when they live on the surface. We think we like somebody, and something happens. 2 weeks later, you don't like that person. Mm-hmm. So everybody is in sort of this emotional wave. And how do you ensure that it's not an emotional wave and it's a real attraction which comes deeply from the soul? And how do you differentiate between superficial, just, casual stuff? Mm-hmm. Because now we are playing with, it can potentially ruin your friendship.
Yeah.
So you want to make sure you come across right.
Yeah, and it can also make you feel bad about yourself, right?
And first thing I would recommend is to meditate a little bit. And what meditation does is it sort of separates the boys from the men and separates the girls from the women.
Why? Because you actually get your subconscious mind, your higher power to actually feed
you let the monkey mind make the monkey mind shut up.
Yeah.
And that is super important before you're making a very important decision, which was what we were talking about, Tony and I today, decisions.
Oh, what are we making decisions on?
And this is a very important decision for her, apparently, right?
Yeah.
Because it could ruin her.
She's never been married and she's 60. And she's really pretty. I would love to see her.
Absolutely. And so the first thing I would recommend is to start meditating, even 5 to 10 minutes, 5-10 minutes in the morning and 5 to 10 minutes at night. And how to do it, get Yoga on Love. There's an entire section on meditation. Just follow that. Do that for a month, couple of months. And then your own consciousness, your own emotions going to tell you how you need to approach.
Right.
And it's not for me to tell you. You need to figure it out. And for that,
you have to get quiet enough. You have to get quiet. And that's hard.
And from the outer thing, just hold love in the heart. For example, like when I knew that my wife was the one, I had to take this risk. I hardly knew her, but tell her that she is the one I've been looking for.
And she was going to call security.
Yeah, she didn't when she was thinking about it. But and that's a big risk for me, right?
Yeah,
it's like,
that's hard.
Oh my God, how insulting, right? But I had to because I kept love in my heart. And I would say the same thing.
Do you feel that the way that you approached her was the best way that you could have done it? Or do you feel like you did the right thing but at the wrong time? Did you knee-jerk react?
See, again, when it works out, you don't need to analyze it too much.
But you didn't know that it was going to work out.
Absolutely.
It was probably embarrassing at first, right?
No. That's why, again, I come back to this is a very subtle point. It's a very beautiful point you bring up. And that's what meditation does. Meditation gives you so much confidence. It's like, say, hey, I've come into my own. People call that I'm centered. People don't know what they're really saying.
Right.
But in meditation, that's what meditation does. It really helps you own your thoughts. The entire world can be against you. There's no embarrassment. Hey, I'm expressing my love. I'm expressing who I am. There's nothing to be embarrassed about.
Right.
She can reject it. But, people who get scared of rejections are naturally living in the fear center.
Oh, that's okay.
It's like a little mouse which looks at cheese on the outside and wants to go steal the cheese when the owner is not there. It comes in, go out. It goes in. It sees light, it goes back in.
Is it supposed to steal the cheese when the owner's there?
Exactly. No, I'm just saying it's that
Do we grab in there too?
It's like that fear center, and
Right.
most people live in the fear center. Oh, what's he going to think? What's she going to think?
Right.
Am I going to mess up my entire... No, you stand tall. Be in your...
Stop
be
caring
powerful.
what people think.
Don't worry about what others think.
Right. And you don't know what they think either.
It doesn't matter. It's not your
Yeah.
problem. It's not your problem. Own up for who you are. Own up for your own thoughts. Own up for your own feelings. All I say is make sure what you're feeling is deeply from your soul. That's it. And how are you going to do that? By meditating.
So this week, and I'm a big fan of your books. I mean, this book too.
Thank you.
Like this one.
It's been pretty well read, I can tell.
Yeah. Well, it's just, yeah. I mean, I hate the fact that it's gotten dirty, but I take it everywhere with
Absolutely,
me.
that's
I
cool.
carry it in my purse.
pleasure
I
to
almost
see
want to
you,
like
brother.
cover it and keep it pretty, but
Okay.
in the sense
That's
I'm
cool.
like,
That's
what is
cool. I
this
like
saying?
it. Yeah.
So my neighbor comes over in the morning, and she comes over, and I figured it out because she likes the tea I make for her. It's I put special, Heidi Love in there. I put like ginger and like turmeric and agave, and it tastes really good. And then she started reading the book. Well, she decided that she felt close enough with me that she could just walk out of the house with the book without telling me. And she was out there. I'm like, what is in your hand? You can't, like, she literally tried to steal the book out of my house. And at that point I was like, you know what, this boundary has been crossed. You can't take that. She goes, oh, can I said, you can have that one and this one, but not this one. And she goes, oh.
She can always buy it.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, go buy it. Like, you can't have my copy of the book. You know what I mean? I'm like, that's not fair. Like, I was just I felt my boundaries had been crossed, and I thought, okay, this is an issue I've had. This brought up issues with me. With people I'm just really nice, and I'm super open, and people can just come over.
Right.
They can call me at any time,
Right.
except during the show. I'll just answer it on the air. I'm just super open, which has been too much in relationships because I noticed in the past, and it doesn't happen now. I've stopped it. That you get taken, like your boundaries are broken.
Absolutely.
People push your boundaries, and then all of a sudden you're in a relationship you thought was good, and it's not so good anymore, and you're not happy because you're being taken for granted, or you're feeling like you are.
Right.
And then when you say something to them, they're like, "What? Like, I had no idea that even bothered you." You're like,
Sure.
common sense. Like, there's just some things that are just common sense. But I've been trying to reorganize my house, and this is what I wanted to bring up to you. It's just a mess for me. For whatever reason, I'm not able to figure it out, and I don't even know why I started it. There was nothing wrong with it to begin with, so I don't know why I felt like I needed to do this. But I got in touch with the relationship I had when I was 18.
Okay.
And I actually heard his voice, and I've never flashed back to this because
Right.
I just didn't like him after we broke up. And I
Right.
realized I had been lying to him and myself. I didn't
Right.
like him.
Right.
I don't like the guy.
Right.
So why am I going to be pretending like I'm all upset about the breakup or stuff he does? The reality of it is I'm not going to marry the guy, and I don't even like him as a person. And how sad is that I'm lying to somebody because I'm lying to myself? I didn't even realize that's how I felt. But recently I got in touch with it and I was like, wow. And I saw everything that was good and bad about it and where I went wrong and why I even got into it to begin with. But
Right.
what was really interesting was that through like reading your book and then the meditation and stuff, I actually connected with something I never thought was actually an issue with me.
Wow. Brilliant.
And it was because it also brought up that relationship mirrored the ex-fiance. So even though like I ended that relationship when I was like 20 or something like that, it restarted with a different person and that I actually got engaged to. And I realized I didn't like him.
Right.
I didn't even like him.
Right.
So you're right. When you get quiet and meditate, you realize, gee, who do I like? What do I like? And what do I want?
Absolutely.
And that's important because you don't want to go around lying to people, lying to yourself.
You can say that word important and multiply that 1 billion times because it's a key difference between staying blissful in life versus going through heartbreak. And I quote some fairly big stars who have had all
Fairly
the
big stars.
who have had some of the biggest
You can say it.
Yeah.
You're all loved by everyone, Vish. We all love Vish.
No, why I say big star is because they have all the success which you think would make them happy.
Yeah.
Okay? But they're not because love is lacking. And that's the reason I'm talking to them. And this is what I say. Wouldn't you have like half the amount of money you have now and have the love of your life? They all like, yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Or quarter of the money, right?
Can you imagine? Yeah, right? Yeah, can you imagine looking back on your life and never having love?
Yes.
Oh my
And
God.
I meet them because that's the work I do. It's
Yeah.
it's not fun, trust me. And that is the reason it's so important. I spent the time writing Yoga on Love, and I was talking to Tony as well. I put my acting career on hold, sort of non-existent
Well, you
acting
kind
career on hold.
of, that would be a lot. Yeah. But now it's blossomed through meditation and after the book, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
slowly.
His lack of acting career, right.
Anyway, and I wrote it because I know that there's this truth, and it will work for everybody, whether you're from the East or the West. All them are great masters. I'm not saying something new. All they're saying is, take time out for yourself. It's you time.
Yeah.
Make sure when you go after something that you really want it
That you really, really want it
and really need it.
and-
It's not a superficial thing.
Sometimes you just know organically and there's no question about
Yes.
it. You just know.
Yes, and those are very few, by the way. Okay, those are very few in the world who probably don't need the yoga practice, who don't need the meditation, and they just knew it.
Yeah.
They're happily married. But that's like getting discovered when you're walking in LA and becoming a star.
Yeah. Well, I have a best girlfriend. I went to 3rd grade with, and we're still best friends. And she lives in Orange County, and she met one of the guys in high school when we were 15. And she's still married to him. And they've never been with anyone else.
Exactly.
They've never
See?
even been with anyone else.
Exactly.
And I mean, they've had their ups and downs. Tony's like, oh, well, that's shocking.
Yeah.
No, but it's true. And the thing is, I mean, like, she's like, you know what? I don't know. I just got lucky.
That's it.
You know, she goes, I
Right.
just knew. But I mean, you know, they had their fights and stuff.
Of course.
And I would be the one when we were like 18. I'm like, you need to start trying to date other people because if you marry him and you never dated anyone, but that was bad advice on me
Right.
because I was probably jealous because she was spending more time with him than me. But I love him. Now he's like, you know, I should just go marry Heidi. And she's like, yeah, okay. You know, because now he's like, Heidi's hot. And I'm like, oh, Jeffrey. You know what I mean? It's like, you know what I mean? It's different because we've all grown up together.
Sure.
But, you know, you see like the different like levels of their
Right.
relationship. And it's rare that it happens.
Right.
And with my career, I knew when I was 3 that I was going to be on the radio and TV. And I
Wow.
didn't ever question it. Never, ever, ever
At
did
3.
I ever.
See?
Yes.
That's it. That's what I'm talking about.
Never, ever,
you knew
ever questioned
beyond
it.
doubt. There's no ifs or buts about it. There's no analysis. There's no hindsight. Oh, maybe it'll work
Yeah.
out. Nothing. It's just sure.
It was it. I started
And
at
that's
17.
your soul talking. That's intuition.
Everyone's like, what are you going to be, the next Rick Dees? I'm like, no, I'm going to be Heidi. Like, what do you? And I've moved around the country.
Right.
I've lived everywhere.
Right.
I've dated, you know, lots of people in different states, which I was always confused. about the love life because
Absolutely.
I was like, I'm going to move I'm going to move in a year and get, I'm going to go up to a bigger station. I'm going to get like, I'm like, I have people behind me that are high up in the industry. Like I'm, that's just the way it is. This guy is not going to move with me to
Right.
all these different places. And I'm
Right.
going to end up in, back in LA doing acting. He's not going to move with me
Right.
if he's from Pittsburgh or
Right.
Minneapolis. And so it was difficult for me, but I'd like to read something in your book. Because we have to talk about the foods.
Absolutely.
Yes, the yummy foods.
All right.
I did, by the way,
Uh-huh.
get a lot of the stuff. I walked around in Trader Joe's with your book. People were like looking at me like, I'm like, okay, where am I
You're like
going?
one of the greatest marketing machines for my book. Thank you.
I love it. And my neighbors, well, they try to steal from me. No, it's
sucks.
not anything that's, it's not like a TV or jewelry. It's the Love and Yoga book, Yoga and Love. So here it is. For OxyContin, what's it called?
Tosin.
Yeah, what? Oh, okay. Well, I'm thinking of a drug, and I've never done OxyContin. It's the cuddle hormone. It's present in eggs, beans, and wheat germ. So if somebody is gluten-free, then they can't have the what's it called?
Oxytocin.
Yeah, what is that? That's like what is
Yeah,
that?
it's just a well-being hormone. It's where you feel.
Look at your face. You're like, it's just a well-being hormone. It's where you feel love and cuddle. Go ahead. Is that like people who spoon?
It's also known to be in science sort of the hormone of monogamy.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So cheaters, you need to eat eggs, beans, and wheat germ.
Yes.
Where do you get wheat germ from?
Whole Foods. You can get
What-
you can get anything at Whole Foods except a mom.
Except a mom. What'd you say? Except a mom?
Yeah.
I think you could probably find one of those there too. They're called MILFs. So when you eat those things and you're going to be monogamous.
That's what science says. I didn't say. Science saying that when they see monogamous relationships in and they test in animals, right, mostly, and they feel that those monogamous relationship, and when they measure the neurotransmitters in the brain, and they feel it's the production of oxytocin is high.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Are these the only three things that will balance it out or cause it
No,
to be high?
again, it's. I just put food as just a pointer. You don't need to be. It's not like a golden rule. Okay?
Right.
And that's very important to
Yeah,
understand.
but it helps though.
It does,
It
absolutely. That's what I'm saying. It's if you are a meat eater, generally, the way I designed the food chapter is this way. I designed it the goal is to increase your magnetism, right? That's the
Your sexual magnetism.
Yeah, just not sexual, the love magnetism, and there are
All right. Let me get my head out of the gutter.
because there are three different types of love. We
Okay.
can talk
Oh,
about
yes.
that. Yeah,
We have to talk about that. Okay, well, do the food first and then the three different types of love. See, now I'm like ADD all over the place. Tell me everything now. Okay, so do the food thing really quick.
Yeah. Per yoga, food we don't take.
I'll just keep drinking the wine. This is the love drink. Excuse me, I just spilled on my lip. Okay, that's how you flirt, by the way.
Right.
Without flirting, but go ahead.
So food is all about whether it magnetizes you or demagnetizes you.
Okay.
And demagnetizes you, as you know from the book, is
Yeah.
something which is taking you away from your center.
Diet Coke.
And it sucks up
Wine.
prana. And it sucks up prana.
Yes.
And it's like a leakage in your bank account. You could keep making all the money, but if there's leakage, just like if you have a pile of milk and if there's a hole, it doesn't matter how much milk you put into it, there's always going to be a leak.
Uh-oh.
And you think that, oh my God, I'm putting so much milk, but it doesn't matter. It's always empty. The same way in everything in yoga considered as like a pile. And we need to make sure there are no leakages. And that's the whole concept. And food, some of the foods increase those holes in the pile so that there's increased leakage. And some of the food, just make sure it's strong and you grow the pile of milk.
Right.
And that's it.
Because the better you feel, the
Right.
more in power and the more in
Right.
touch.
And first we need to understand the goal of nutrition. Why do we even eat? And people think we eat good food just to keep the body healthy.
No, it's for energy, isn't it?
Right. It's energy. But no, in yoga, we don't focus there. We don't look at the body as the goal. The body is the consequence. Because we know from the distribution in the first chapter, the entire, what we call as human, is divided into three parts. Only 10% of who you are is the body. And 30% of who you are is your mind and emotions. And 60% of who you are is your spiritual self or your higher self. So when we look at food, we are looking at bodily food, mental and emotional food, and spiritual food.
So that's why superfoods are different than.
Yes. So when we look at, so the goal of nutrition
Mm-hmm.
in yoga is to harmonize the mind, to calm the mind, so that you can get in touch with your higher self.
And we
with your
really
blissful
need,
self.
people really need to calm
Right.
their minds down
and,
now.
and that's why, for example, people who eat a lot of fast food or a lot of meat, you don't feel good about yourself. You don't, and we can just go on and on about,
Yeah.
and that's getting heavily demagnetized.
Yeah,
It's
I want to
just-
read.
It's just matter. It's not nutrition. There's no prana in it. Okay. So how I classified the foods like eggs and salads and quinoa and fruit juices, they have very high concentration of prana, and that's why you want to make sure.
Can I read them really quick,
Please,
just
yeah.
so people so you know? And by the way, you can get the book Yoga and Love off Amazon.com. Vish Iyer. I just gave a review,
Thank
which
you.
I love this book. So for dopamine, which is the pleasure, love, and integration of thoughts and feelings present in foods such as apples, beets, cucumbers. See, cucumbers, I told you. Honey, green leafy vegetables, and tofu. You could just make a little tofu stir fry, and there you
Yeah.
are. Your
Or even
dopamine is all
tempeh.
level.
Or
is
even
it?
tempeh.
Oh, yeah, tempeh. Okay.
fermented,
So that's similar to tofu.
Absolutely.
And then for endorphins. So what do endorphins do? Oh, natural painkillers?
Yes, that's what happens. Like endorphins. If you run for 30 minutes,
I did
the body,
40 last night.
yeah,
I was-
and the body releases, and it's released during stress
Mm-hmm.
and intense physical exercises, and it's just, you feel great. It's
feel
a natural painkiller of the body. Yes,
It feels so good, doesn't
Yep,
it?
yep.
And I ran really late last night, and I shouldn't have, but I had to, and I
Yeah.
felt so good after. I just carried my mace and my flashlight, and I
Yep.
looked like a crazy person. Nobody attacked me. That's what you have to do. You got to be crazy if you want to scare the crazies. Okay, endorphins, natural painkillers, and mood enhancers. Makes you
Yes.
happy.
Mm-hmm.
Present in strawberries. Ooh, I love strawberries. Grapes, nuts, sesame seeds, and bananas. Oh, this is interesting about bananas, because you always see online now the 5 foods you shouldn't eat are bananas because it makes you have belly fat. So where do you go when you're confused on what to eat? Because it says bananas are good for endorphins. But if, some people are saying, oh, it makes you have belly fat and you don't want belly fat.
Yeah, some people are, see, again, these are people who
I can't
really-
imagine anything natural is going to make you have any kind
Exactly. These are people who are just making stuff up and
of...
just
Yeah,
putting,
stop making stuff up.
yeah, they have no clue about, and it's
They're like, give me $200, I'll give you a
Yeah.
pill. That's
And-
processed.
And most
yeah.
of the time when they give advice, they're giving to people who are already eating a lot of sugar per day. Do you understand? They're eating artificial sugar throughout the day. They're drinking soda. And if on top of that, if you add banana, there's more sugar. They're potentially talking about that. I just want to give them a benefit of doubt. But when we
Yeah.
say in yoga diet, we assume that you're not living a sort of an existence which is, right, you're not into sodas too much or fast
Right.
food. We're assuming your body's in balance. And for them, bananas are extremely good.
Because in India, you guys don't have soda, do you?
And now, I'm sure there is right now. I don't drink it, but
She's like, I don't.
it's not like India's. It's
I
not
don't
like
drink
India's
it.
so holier than thou. There's a lot of junk there too. It's just,
I know. I hear you, but I'm just was wondering that.
Yeah,
like,
sure.
are there vending machines on every corner?
Absolutely,
There
yeah.
are,
Yeah,
really.
absolutely.
Well, I guess anywhere to make money. I mean,
exactly.
and they put like all kinds of addictive stuff in there.
yes,
It's just nasty.
yes.
Stop it.
Yes,
These
stop
people need
it,
to
yeah.
stop lying to people. Not giving you $200 for a stupid pill that you processed in a thing that doesn't
Yeah.
even have the ingredients in it. Because actually, a lot of people don't know this, but isn't like the FDA? They don't have to. They technically like they don't have to monitor like vitamin or minerals and stuff or like any kind of organic product
Yes.
necessarily.
Yes.
And so somebody could say, "Oh, this is pure fish oil,"
Right.
and it could just be water with like food coloring.
Right.
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 So you don't know.
Yeah.
Just like relationships, you got to know you got to know who you're dating. I have a call. Just a second. So phenyl ethyl. What is that? I don't even know how to pronounce that. Is that something in our
Really?
brain? Oh, it's the dye contact. It's the phenyl. He's like, let me read my book again.
Phenylethylamine.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
Phenylethylamine.
Yes.
Jeez, I won my 3rd grade spelling bee. You think I would know how to pronounce that? That's produced during eye contact.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Let's say that again.
Phenylethylamine.
It's ethylamine.
Ethylamine. Yes.
Yeah.
Methyl, ethyl.
Same thing. As
Yes.
long as you're making eye
Like
contact,
methane,
it doesn't
ethane
matter
is-
what
yeah.
you're saying. It's
Two-
all about
two
communication.
carbons is equal.
Yeah. Eye contact with another person you are attracted to, and in present foods such as cheese and chocolates. Ooh, so you do get to eat cheese and chocolates, dairy and chocolates, because,
Absolutely.
and it's so you get the same feeling when you make eye contact, sexual energy with someone. You're like, hey, it's like, ooh, it's like eating cheese and chocolates, right? Vish, you're laughing at me. I know I'm being funny. It says, as long as these hormones are present in this bloodstream, you will retain that great feeling, high prana food choices, enhanced mood that will make you feel amazing all the time. You could walk down the street, people are like, whoo, you're hot. You're like, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's the sexual
It's the
energy.
food I'm
And you know
eating.
what?
Yeah.
You know what? Have you ever noticed you're friends with someone and then all of a sudden your energy changes and they're like, damn, girl. And it's like, yeah, too late. So, you got to be sure. You got to be careful when you're friends with someone. You might change and become super sexy after this book, and you may not like him anymore because you didn't realize when your, food prana is high and your sexual magnetism that, you can do a little better. Or maybe you'll realize, hey, I can get them and I like them.
And also, one thing is it increases the magnetism, but also the effect of increased magnetism is a higher sense of what we call as buddhi, or discrimination, a wisdom.
Right.
A wisdom, and the wisdom takes over.
Yeah.
And you could then you're not attracted to the lower things, or you're not attracted to things which don't serve you. It
Right.
might sound like fun, just like
The lower
when
energy.
you're growing up,
Mhm.
candies look so exciting, and you're like, oh, I want to buy all the candy in the world. But right now, it's not as exciting for
Yeah.
you because you've just grown over it, right?
Yeah, I don't even eat
Same
sugar
way.
hardly.
The same way, through meditation, as you live a yoga lifestyle, you're no longer attracted to. It just falls off.
Right. You don't
Yep.
need sugar because you're
Yep.
sweet enough, So we have a phone caller. Hi.
Whoa, all right.
Hi.
Hi,
Hi. Hi. Who's this?
Dana.
Oh, hi, Dana.
Hi, Dana.
Thank you for calling. Are you watching the
Hi,
show?
how are you? I'm a huge fan.
Yeah, she loves, she sounds like she loves you.
I think she's a huge fan of you or me.
Hi, Dana. Thanks for calling. Are you a huge fan of Vish?
I am, and I'm a huge fan of you, Heidi.
Oh, you're sweet. Thank you, Dana. That's so nice.
I'm a huge fan of Heidi myself.
I'm a huge fan of you.
You are both amazing and very entertaining and very helpful.
Well, thank you. So what, do you have a question, or did you just want to, do you have a situation that we can help you get the right love of your life and, nail him? Sorry, that was
I
nasty.
do have a situation.
Okay.
So I have a friend named Chris, and he's a really sweet guy, and he's handsome, and he's a model, and he's an actor. And, you'd think that I'd be attracted to him, but I'm just not. And he's really, really broke. He doesn't have any money.
Oh, that's probably part of it.
And he really, really likes me. And I told him, I was like, I just want to be friends right now. I'm really not interested in anything more. And now he's trying to hang out with me every day and quote unquote be my friend. And I'm just like, now I feel like I don't really even feel like I have time to be friends with him, because I feel like it's all just a plan to try and, get closer and closer to me and try to.
It is, though.
And so do I tell him, do I just keep avoiding him and telling him I'm busy, or should I just be honest and say I don't really want to be that close of friends with you, or should I just be friends with him and not care that I know deep down he's going to be constantly trying to hook up with me?
You have to squash that. You have to squash that
Energy.
in him. Yeah, that energy in him.
Yeah.
But
Can I answer?
yeah,
that?
yeah.
Hi, Dana. This is Vish. Wow, it's you bring the old classical question of man, woman, a friendship line, and how we need to make sure.
Yeah.
It's all about the level of strength you show. A part of you is probably feeling weak, or what's he going to feel? Is it going to ruin the friendship? No, men always subconsciously respect a strong woman who really knows what she wants, and your want is not him, and that needs to be communicated really very clearly up front.
So how does she say that? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, just
I
say,
agree.
and one of the best ways to say that is in an email.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah, and people try to talk things over. I always recommend that if it's sensitive, say it in an email.
Okay.
Because in an email, they can't run away. They have to read and process everything.
Mm-hmm.
When you're in front of the person, they can smile and you can say, oh, you feel sorry for the person. Oh, he's your friend. I can't say all these things. These might just come out of, it might be rude. But in an email, you can take all the time you want to think about it when you're writing it. I always do when it's a sensitive email. I spend a couple of days even, I'll write it, take a look at it again, take a second shot. And then, but you say it with love. But he's not the one, period. In your mind, you just need to be sure, and that needs to be communicated. And if you're not communicating that clearly, you're doing a disservice for yourself and him.
So do you think I should tell him that, like, I'll tell him again, and I'm not interested in anything romantic with you. And then he'll probably, I don't want him to come back and say, oh, we can be friends. Or should I just, I don't know. I guess I
so one of the
don't
things
know
is,
exactly how to say it.
yeah, maybe what can help is when you find your own relationship. That will scare him.
Okay, so you're saying go find a guy that you're interested in.
Well, that's going to happen at some point, right?
Why doesn't, what's funny is, and Dana, perhaps you've had this experience when you say, oh, I have a boyfriend or I'm seeing someone, they still don't get it. And you're like, geez.
Right.
Yeah.
That's kind of you just kind of dropped the ball.
Right. And guys, when they are not in their, particularly when they're not confident, the self-esteem is low, when you don't have money, you're always looking for some feel-good, and they want to hang out with girls. It's just a feel-good thing for them.
So they're basically he's sucking her energy.
Yeah, exactly.
Like a
Feel good for them. They want to be around you. Maybe even sexually, some people have that. Maybe I can, get some. This thing, men are always thinking about all these things. All right.
But that's going to drain her.
Exactly. If you are, that's why I said always say that if you're strong, strong women are always respected, and for that you need to own your power. And you need to communicate that very strongly, but firmly, but politely, and that can be done in an email very beautifully.
And then
so it's okay to say right now I'm really busy. I have a lot of
and for that
friends. I don't know if I can squeeze it anymore.
Absolutely. What do you do for work, Dana?
I am in sales.
Okay, yeah. Just talk about all your goals for the next 5 years, 6 years, and you're working all the time. And then, then you really have no time for anything else or anybody else.
Okay, yeah, that's a good idea. Okay, now I'm so excited now. I know it seems like I probably should have thought of this on my own. But that's a really good idea.
There's a chapter called Unraveling Your Dharma in my book, Yoga and Love. And I talk about that. When you're passionate about what you want to do, you really have no time for others.
Right. Oh, totally.
Absolutely. And if you have time for others, that means you're not passionate about what you're doing.
Well, or unless
that's it. That's the trade-off.
Are you saying don't have any friends?
No, I'm not saying that. That's why I say when you
don't have time for meaningless stuff.
Exactly.
Right.
Things that don't serve you.
Things that don't serve you because you still need human contact.
Absolutely.
You still need contact. Yeah. You still need
people who don't suck your energy. Absolutely.
Yeah, the vampires. Let me suck you and live my life. Like, let me get my energy off of you. You're like, no.
Yes.
Oh, God. Well, and also, Dana, I don't know if you're afraid, but like you want to be his friend. You don't want to hurt him. But on the other hand, you're like, I don't want him going there anymore. So there has to be like an email. I never thought of that. Usually it was like when something was on email, like, oh, what a wimp. He can't.
No, email.
Really?
Very powerful, yes.
What about text? Is that different than email?
Again, you can't. How much are you going to type? I say... Right. Email gives you the...
I'll read you what I wrote to someone the other day.
I know. Yeah. Text is fine.
I didn't show you it.
Text is fine, but email is... I prefer email.
Okay. He prefers email, Dana. So just listen to him right now until you shake this one because he sounds like he's sucking your energy and you're like, he's the kind of guy that would probably not get when you're like, oh, I'm seeing someone. Oh, or my ex-boyfriend and I got together. Oh, I don't have time for anything. He's like, oh, really? Can I help you with anything? Like, you probably wouldn't get it.
Right.
You don't
want for sure.
Yeah.
Well, the weird thing is he said to me in a text message just earlier today, or maybe it was yesterday, he said, I really need a friend, and you fit the profile.
Oh, dear Lord. Really?
I was like, okay.
Yeah, no, that's like he just wants to suck your energy because he...
Yeah, but again, without judging him too much. It's very important not to judge
Heidi,
people.
smack you. Sorry.
Yeah, you just need to own your power. Own your power.
I'm bad.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
I really appreciate you both.
Thank you.
And you're both very amazing and very insightful, and I appreciate you both.
Thank you so much, Dana. So let me.
Thank you. I'll talk to you guys later.
Okay, thanks. Bye, Dana. Don't forget to get his book,
Bye.
Amazon.com. So let me tell you what I wrote here to somebody. And this is important because this happens, and I'm sure all the time. We were out at a party, my girlfriends and I, with some musicians who I know. And then there was another, like a piano player. He was an amazing piano player, and he played piano all night long. And I was like, oh, wow, he's great. I'd love to have him on the show. So, and I'm fun. I'm having a good time. Apparently, I was smiling. And, you know, when you smile, sometimes people get the wrong impression, which is that happens to me a lot. I've been known to be like Heidi Heartbreaker, or, I'm a tease or whatever. And I don't even know what they're talking about. I'm just happy, right? I'm just walking around smiling. I'm happy. You know what I mean? Just in my own little happy Heidi world. And people just kind of come in and say, I want some of that. And I don't know what they're talking about because I don't want to give it to them. So he goes, he's been texting me like at 2 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, first of all, that's inappropriate to me. Especially if I was considering having him, do business with him. I think he's a fantastic piano player. And so he sent me this thing. He goes, you were a hoot last night. Tell me more about you. Do you have anything that I can see on you? And I said, yeah, I'll send it to you tomorrow. I don't have time right now. This was at 3 or 2:30 in the morning. Okay, that's just, to me, I'm just annoyed already because I could already tell that maybe he's trying to cross that line. And I said, he said something like, he sent a website, and then he goes, get to know me. And this is when I said to him, and this was at 2 a.m. He kept, you awake? And then he sent a website, and he goes, get to know me. So I sent him a message. I said, hey, I'm not interested in anything other than industry friends, just in case there is any confusion. It sounded like you thought there would be more by your text, and that is not the case with me. So I will get to know your work if I have you on my show, but that's all I need to get to know, only professionally. Just wanted to clear any confusion.
Pretty good, Heidi.
And that's what I said. I go, let's talk in the week.
Pretty good.
He kept texting me all night long at 4 a.m, 5 a.m. I'm like, I don't know how much more clear I just didn't respond.
The only thing would have been if you did it in the morning and not instantly.
Oh, I think I was so hot.
Yeah.
I think I was mad.
Yeah.
So I should have waited.
But I love what you said.
Right.
That's exactly what needs to be communicated up front so that everybody's clear.
Because I mean,
Brilliant.
yeah, and then I'm like, he's crossing the line just by texting at that time. So we have like 5 more minutes left, and we want to talk about the sexual magnetism foods. There's 3. What was it? 3? What did you say? 3? We were going to go over the 3 sexual foods.
Oh no, I was talking 3 types of love. You're always in that section.
So sorry. Heidi, get your head out of the gutter. I have got a bad brain. We need to wash it out with soap and sterilize it, okay? Maybe I need to eat some more prana foods, organic vegetables, organic nuts, whole grains.
And by the way, there are people with just the recommendations of the food. They found their mate's sodium. So
see? That's why
just by changing the diet. They didn't do anything else.
I walked through Trader Joe's with the book, and I said, I don't care what you're thinking. I know exactly.
And by the way, I'm not the only person who's done it. The Bragg's, the owner of Bragg's.
Oh.
I don't know whether you know.
I don't know. Bragg's?
Bragg's, the liquid aminos, they come up with all these.
Oh, the amino acids?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He
Bragg's,
did it?
Yeah, him and his daughter, they are big into fasting and meditation. They went to India and lived in the Himalayas and learned.
Wow.
And one of their clients, they taught them some of these fasting techniques, which I talk about in the book, and they found the love of their life just through that. The smoking habit went away. They were chain smokers, and it's in their book. And I read about that, I think.
You did.
Yeah.
Also, so there's a lot of different foods in here, but what you should not eat if you're having a low love magnetism or you're feeling, heavy and not sexually attractive. Don't eat red meat, junk food, white sugar, white flour, processed spelt. What is that? Spoiled or leftover foods?
Right.
Oh, it's probably spoiled foods.
Spoiled
I don't
food.
know.
This is spelled? Is there a spelling error there?
Spoilt.
Spoiled. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So don't eat those things, and then don't have Diet Coke either. So what are the 3? What was it? The 3?
3 states of love.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm thinking of sexual food again. So go ahead.
Yeah. When we talk about love, people, let's assume that people get together sexually, right? Most people do, and that's why there's a divorce rate of 60% because they think they're sexually attracted and they mistake that to be love. What they don't understand, there are 3 different types of love from a yoga perspective. One we call as kama. Kama is sexual desire.
K-A-R-M-A.
K-A-M-A.
K-A-M-A.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're talking about karma. Kama is sexual attraction.
Okay.
And that's still love, but it's still sort of an infant form of love. And love is such a big thing. It constantly matures and evolves. And our consciousness needs to evolve with that.
Okay.
And if it doesn't evolve, it devolves and it breaks up.
So you could just be sexually attracted to someone for a week and then
The energy will expand and it'll be gone.
right. So you need to allow it to go slow.
Right.
Which is why you don't sleep with someone right away.
And be aware.
Okay.
And then that sexual love becomes emotional love, the next state, which is called prema,
Okay.
and which is mental compatibility. If you talk to really old couples, they have this mental compatibility.
Yeah.
They have this emotional love. They probably have not had sex in 20 years. If you really talk to them.
That's a shame.
And they would even talk about things like, oh my God, we don't even need that. Yeah, it's great. It's not like sex is a taboo, but the friendship and the emotional bond has evolved.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's very beautiful to see that. And I've met many. And that is what we in Sanskrit call prema.
Okay.
That's the second state of love.
Okay.
And then there's another step from there, and that's bhakti, single-minded devotion, and that gets into the state of unconditional love.
That's what you have with your wife.
Well, I'm hoping to get there.
Okay.
I can't claim
Yeah.
to have that right now, but I'm working towards
It's
it. Work.
unconditional love. It's,
Absolutely. We need to understand that everything is work.
Mhm.
Nothing, the universe is not designed for people to get things for free. Make no mistake about that. If you want a six-pack, you got to bust this thing in the gym.
But what if you're working too hard and you don't get it? Does that mean it's not right for you?
Yeah, working in what situation?
Just say anything like a certain career or at your relationship.
Okay.
If it's
I'll
too
answer
difficult.
that. I'll answer that. Again, that's the karma aspect.
Mm-hmm.
Karma is action, cause and effect principle.
Mm-hmm.
You can work really hard. It may not happen for you right now because of energy blocks you have right now.
Mm-hmm.
But over time,
Right.
if you don't give up, it will happen.
Right.
According to law of karma, every desire has to be satisfied.
Oh.
So if your passion
Well,
for
then we love the law of karma.
yeah, exactly, and it might happen in the next incarnation. That's what happens when you have a Justin Bieber who just gets discovered, or some other star.
He had good karma in a
from
past
the
life.
past because he worked so hard, tried, probably didn't make it,
Right.
and he had that work
I
this
thought you
time
said that every desire had. You mean maybe not in this lifetime? Every desire has to
to
have.
be satisfied, but it may not happen just in this lifetime.
Oh, that's why we have to come back multiple times.
Yes, and it can happen in this lifetime if you remove the energy blocks.
Okay, so you have to meditate and read your
Exactly.
book because your book is amazing.
Thank you. Yeah.
And this came to you just from you knowing this innately from your
No,
family?
how it came to me is through my 32 years of practice of meditation and yoga.
Right, and well, it's also in your blood. I mean, you come from that
Yeah,
lineage.
but I always say that, it's in the blood. I had a certain advantage,
Yeah.
because I learned it. But I also would say that I never took it seriously until I came to the U.S. and when I ran out of money.
Yeah, well, that'll happen to people. They can come
That
to the
was
U.S.
like-
and
I had no money for food.
oh
And
man,
people talk about that as like, oh, you came from the thing. Things should have been so easy for you. I was brought up really comfortable. When I came here, I wanted to be really independent. Didn't want to take money from my parents.
and then
that
you
ta-
starved.
I starved, and I learned about life, and I developed a relationship with God, a higher power, using meditation practice, and that's what made me a man. And whatever I talk about is from that experience. Yeah, it's in my lineage and my blood, but it's personal experience.
Vish,
It's integrity.
You are a role model. All men or boys who think they're men should aspire to be like you, Vish. Thank you so much for coming on the show. I mean, you're fantastic. He's the resident love doctor. You can email him. What is your Facebook?
My Facebook is
Yoga
Yoga,
and
and Love. Yep, everything is Yoga and Love. You can email me. I do coaching, private coaching, vish@yogaandlove.com. And my audio course, 11-hour audio course is releasing soon.
Yeah, I know.
In the next
yeah.
couple weeks. Yes. Yeah. Go to my website, email me.
Yeah, and my girlfriends are reading the book, and they're waiting a few months before you have to 6 months before you actually work with them after they read the book.
Yeah, and I always say this. It doesn't matter where you are, how many times you've failed in life and relationship. Know that you will succeed in love if you practice yoga. I would say, at the risk of, it's the greatest way to find love is through meditation,
Right.
through yoga.
And you don't have to worry about if you're limber or not, because it's not about that.
It's not about that.
It's
It's being
not about that.
mentally limber, mentally flexible.
Mentally limber and mentally flexible for
Yes.
love. You are listening and watching Out of the
And
Friend
emotionally.
Zone. Emotionally. Well, we forgot about that one. Okay. Heidi, I'm so bad. Get your brain out of the gutter. The show has been sponsored by SoCalOralSurgery.com and Dr. Craig Thede. Look at my teeth. Aren't they pretty? It's because he's my oral surgeon, and he's my doc in a pock. And anything from the neck up, he can do any kind of surgeries, give you new teeth. If you get one knocked out from a bar fight or a girlfriend knocks you out or whatever, just go right to Dr. Thede, SoCal Oral Surgery. You can have it in an hour and a whole mouth in 24 hours. He does everything from the neck up as far as surgery is concerned, even cleft surgeries. And he's fantastic. His offices are beautiful. My parents trust him, and that's how I know he's also good, because they wouldn't want anybody trusting me, any surgeon that wasn't good. Also, Renee Lynn, age interventionist. So thank you so much, Renee, for keeping my skin looking good. And Bonnie with Sex Butter. Ooh, we got you guys a free Sex Butter in the bag. I'm looking for 2 people to Facebook and tweet me, Heidi Selexa Official, and at Heidi Selexa for your love bag. Thank you. I'm Heidi Selexa. You are listening and watching Out of the Friend Zone. Thank you so much, Vish.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yoga and love. Woo!
love.
And don't forget to email him.
Hey, you're listening to Out of the Friend Zone with Heidi Selexa. Yeah.